Weren't you gonna lose weight today?
I'll do it tomorrow. Hello my friends and welcome to The Simple Sober Life. I am Joshua and I help others make simple changes to create a life of awesome. Welcome my friends and thank you so much for joining me. If you're liking these videos, please make sure to give them a big old thumbs up, subscribe and comment down below. I'd love to hear your feedback about the different topics that I talk about. And if you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about or discuss, please comment down below. I'd love to hear about those. So we're still in this quarantine. Many of us, millions of Americans are homebound, restricted to stay at home. Although recent news has suggested that, the government of different states are talking about starting opening up, which means people will be able to eventually get out of the house. So in this very little precious time we have, how are you doing in achieving your goals? Are you, going full force and using this time to the best of your ability and taking advantage of it? Or are you like most people and just sitting back, relaxing, and procrastinating on the goals that you have and the things that you want to achieve? It's so easy to just sit on the couch, binge on Netflix, do a couple of puzzles, and, watch the day go by. Sitting at home, we all get complacent. It happens. And, I've been complacent so many different times in my life. And, I fall into a routine where, I'll get up, I'll go to work, I'll come home, I'll get in front of the TV, and that's the day. And then the weekend comes around and, I'll watch TV for a little bit, maybe I'll do some grocery shopping, come back home, maybe get a little bit of work done, and then sit down and watch TV for the rest of the night. And it just becomes a habit. And, I grew up with this kind of routine at home. I watched my dad come home and, we would eat dinner as a family, which was great. And then, we'd all retire to the living room for a nice, relaxing evening. But now that we have this precious time, why not utilize it and actually get something done? So procrastinating is the death of goals. And I'm going to give you 8 tips on how to stop procrastinating, get up off your butt, and do the things that you want to do and create that life that you deserve and are meant to have. So the very first tip that I have for you is set a goal. We won't be able to do anything unless we know what it is we want to accomplish. So what do you want to accomplish in your life? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to save more money? Do you want to switch careers? Maybe start your own business? Set a very distinctive goal. Make it as detailed as humanly possible. What would achieving that goal look like? What would be the ramifications if you never achieved that goal? And be as specific as possible. So when I went on a weight loss journey, I had a specific number in mind. I knew what my target weight was, and so I set that goal in motion. And I knew that the ramifications of not achieving that goal would be to continue to have aches and pains in my body, be fatigued all the time, look in the mirror and be like, oh my God, you are such a disgusting fat ass. And, I would just all around feel terrible about myself. Now, all cards on the table, I have not yet achieved that goal, but I have made great strides in doing it. And it's because I pushed back procrastination, I set a goal, I set my mind to it, and I started working towards that. The same thing happened when I was drinking. I would procrastinate in doing that. Every night I'd be like, all right, tomorrow I'm not gonna drink. But as soon as I woke up, glug, 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 I drank my breakfast and I stayed in bed for the rest of the day, and nothing ever got done because I procrastinated on making that decision. I never really had a goal. I never really specified the goal of what I could achieve if I quit drinking. And so once I did that and got sober, then my entire world opened up to me, for me to be able to create new goals and achieve them and work towards them. Another thing that you absolutely need to do if you want to vanquish procrastination out of your life is get organized. How many times have you walked into a room and things are kind of cluttered? Things are kind of in disarray. I was a mess. My desk was always a mess at home. And I would have papers strung out. I'd have video cameras here. I'd have, all my equipment spread out, my computer in the middle. It was a disaster. And whenever I would sit down to work, it was literally the only thing I could think of was how messy my desk was. So what area of your life do you need to get organized in? If you are looking to lose weight, maybe organizing the pantry so that things aren't just thrown in there. Or if you're wanting to get your finances in order, maybe you need to organize your receipts and keep like one of those accordion folders for different receipts. You've got utilities and bills and grocery receipts and all these other things so that you can keep them organized and keep track of what you're spending each month. Getting organized is an absolutely necessary step in eliminating procrastination from your life. The next step is one of my favorites, and I do it every single morning. I make a list of the things that I need to get done that day in order to move forward in my ultimate goal. So each week on Monday, I go through my week day by day and create a list of tasks to do for each day. And usually I do it, in fact, I always do it on my phone so that I can have it with me at all times and I can modify it as I need to. But this is a rundown of this week's tasks. So Monday, I had Bottega, which is the school I'm in. I had to create YouTube thumbnails for the week's videos, and I created outlines for next week's videos. And then I started a yoga routine, so I wanted to toss that in there. I was able to get all of those things done, so I got to mark it off. Tuesday, I just focused on, I did a yoga routine in the morning, and then I used the rest of the time to focus on my schooling. Wednesday, I had put in yoga, I wanted to work on my book a little bit, work on schooling, and I had a meeting for school with a mentor. And I was able to get all of those done, at least focus some time on each task at hand. And then Thursday, I wanted to do and then on Thursday, I wanted to focus on creating a video for next week, do yoga, and do schooling. And because I minimized my tasks, I'm usually able to get most of them done. Now, Friday, I had yoga, doing a video, and schoolwork on my task list. Unfortunately, yoga, I skipped out on that one, so I didn't do it on Friday. And I'm shooting this video on Saturday, and I've got a huge list for today. So I've got yoga, working on my book, doing video skits, editing the videos, schoolwork, and possibly squeezing in a mental break. Now, I understand going into this, all of this is not gonna happen today. In fact, my book will probably have to be put on the back burner for today. Yoga, we'll see. I did work on schoolwork this morning, but I'll probably jump back into it later today. I'm definitely shooting the video skits and editing the videos so I can be prepared for next week. Mental break, I know how important those are, but it might have to wait until another day. And tomorrow, Sunday, I've got yoga, a meal prep for the upcoming week, school, and then working on some videos. I'm actually thinking, I have a trip booked at the end of the month to go to Florida. That's still kind of up in the air, but in case I go, I want to have those videos already lined up so I don't have to worry about it while I'm there. But that's my to-do list for the week. Actually, some of the guys at work make fun of me because I'm always list making. No matter what we're doing, when we're working on a project, I create a list of the things that we need to do. And they kind of giggle and smirk at me. But guess what? That stuff gets done. I don't procrastinate because I've got that list in front of me, and I don't know about you, but there is nothing more rewarding than making a check next to something that I had to do, or crossing it out. Done. I did that. I accomplished that. And it creates such an energy that you naturally want to move on and do the next thing. I would limit your list to 3 or 4 tasks, manageable bite-sized things, so that you don't feel overwhelmed, but you feel like you're actually making positive motions towards that larger goal. On the heels of creating a list is create a schedule and make deadlines. So this is my daily routine for the week, my schedule for the week. And as you can see, it's pretty jam-packed and pretty precise. Most days are usually very routine in what I do in trying to accomplish these goals and dealing with getting over procrastination. So Monday through Friday, I wake up at 4 a.m. and then I have my coffee, and about 4:30 is when I do a yoga routine. If I actually do it. I just started, so I'm still working into getting into the routine of that. So I might miss a day here or there. From 5 o'clock to 6:30 is when I focus on school. So part of the time. I'll work on school for that hour and a half before I have to start getting ready for work. And then I leave for work about 7:15, and I don't get home until about 4:45. So after that, I'll shower from about 5 to 5:30. And then 5:30 to 6:30 is reserved for one of my tasks. So it could be more schoolwork, it could be filming a video, it could be working on thumbnails, it could be, anything from my task list that needs to get done. And then from 6:30 to about 7:15, we have dinner. And then for the rest of the night, I work on more tasks. Usually it's schoolwork. So even if I do schoolwork in the morning, I still focus on some more of it at night because I want to get through this and so that I can free up more time. So I'm trying to devote as much time as that as I can right now so that I can open up more time in the future. And then from 9 to about 10's kind of pushing it, I relax because I am normally in bed by somewhere between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. But that is my schedule Monday through Friday. Now, when my work hours change, and they will change in the future, this will be rearranged. I won't be able to focus on schoolwork in the morning, but other than that, it stays pretty regular. Now, the weekends are pretty similar actually. I still wake up at 4 in the morning. That's just how my body works. And then I have coffee, and then from 4:30 to 8:30, I focus on my book. You know, I want to get that going, and I have a deadline for my first draft to be done by the end of May. And so I might even have to use some of this morning schoolwork time in order to get that goal, that deadline finished, or that deadline achieved. And then from 9 to 1, I'll work on videos, whether I'm shooting scripts or whether I'm shooting skits, whether I am filming new videos, whether I'm editing, you know, all that's done between about 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. on the weekends. And then from about 1 to 1:30, I'll have lunch, and then from 1:30 to 3:30, give or take, usually it's a lot less than an hour and a half, I'll take a nap. You know, I really enjoy taking a nap on the weekends. I'd take one every day if I could, but you know, I like to have that time just to kind of refresh, because as you can see, waking up at 4:30 and going to bed at 10, I get about 6 hours of sleep each night, and that's great. But by the weekend of going, I'm pretty worn out. And then from 3 o'clock to bedtime, I focus on things that need to get done, whether it's writing a blog post, whether it's putting in more hours for school, whether it's wrapping up things on videos, and on Sundays I meal prep, so that takes some time out. Now, in looking at this, you're gonna say, there's not much time for any fun, but I do make sure to take time to get out of the house and to, you know, go have some sort of fun, jump in my car and go explore somewhere new. And if that's the case, if I'm in that mindset, then I will take out, you know, these items here on my Saturday or Sunday, depending on which day is nicer. You know, I'll skip the videos, I'll skip the nap, and I'll go and actually get some refreshment from, you know, taking that mental break. But that's my schedule for the week, and it's usually pretty consistent. So having everything planned out is, you know, critical in beating procrastination. So if you're wanting to lose weight, so creating a schedule. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go grocery shopping. And at 10 o'clock, I'm going to meal prep for the week, and such of a schedule. If you're looking to build a business, then creating a schedule is vital. You know, how do you know when you're going to work on marketing? How do you know when you're going to work on prospecting? How do you know when you're going to, you know, work on that website? Or how do you know when you're going to do anything? Unless you create a schedule and you make deadlines. Deadlines are really, really important to give you kind of that, I don't want to say stress, but it kind of is, that stress, that momentum, that push that you need to actually get it done. You know, I'm working on a book. If you follow any of my videos, you probably already know that. But I have set a deadline for myself for my first draft of that book to be done by the end of May. And I think it's pretty obtainable as long as I make a schedule and I schedule, you know, time out every single week to work on that book. And I do. It's actually become part of my routine. I focus Saturday and Sunday mornings for about 4 hours each to just work on my book. That's all I do. And, you know, I feel accomplished because I've made that schedule. I've created that deadline because I know it's coming up. It's coming up quick. And, you know, I accomplished those. And it's all about making progress. It's all about, you know, moving forward towards those goals rather than being a sloth on the sofa. And, you know, really creating that life of awesome that we want. Another vital tip that I have for you is get rid of distractions. new season of Ozark. And I am the king of distractions. I think that I can do 87,000 things all at one time and be successful. It doesn't work like that. And I'll notice, when I'm working on my schoolwork, I'm taking coursework in software development. And, I've got my phone right next to me. And as soon as that phone lights up with any sort of alert, guess what I'm doing? My focus immediately shifts to what's on that phone, because I have to know. In fact, an alert just popped up on my phone, and now I kind of want to turn my head sideways and look at it. When we eliminate distractions, then we give ourselves the power to focus on ourselves and focus on the task at hand. And there's nothing more destructive to obtaining goals than distractions. When we have that schedule, when we have deadlines, focus 100% of your attention on achieving those goals, of marking things off of that list. And you will become more successful than you've ever been in your entire life. My next tip is a fun one. Take mental breaks. I have a huge problem with just going and going and going and going and going. And then all of a sudden, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so frustrated, and I'm pulling myself in a million different directions, and I just want to give up on everything and, hop on a plane and go to a deserted island somewhere. We have to take time for ourselves. We have to take time to step back, enjoy the accomplishments that we've gone through, that we've created, and appreciate life. Because, in the end, it's not about work. It's about, creating a life and, creating an environment that you deem successful and you deem worthy of how you want to live that life of awesome. And I've only recently discovered the importance of taking mental breaks. And that's why, I'll hop in the car and I'll run up an hour away and take a hike. Or I'll hop in the car and I'll head over to Asheville for the afternoon. Or, whatever, or I'll do painting. I'll take a couple of hours and do some acrylic pour painting, which I just found out, I just discovered, and it's fantastic. And we have to step out of ourselves. We have to step out of what we're so focused on, just to refresh, just to re-energize ourselves about what we're doing. Otherwise, it's so easy to lose interest and to, lose perspective on why we're doing it. So take those mental breaks, even if it's just for a couple of hours, step out. And when you come back, you're fresh and you're ready, and you are even more focused than you were before you took that break. Another thing that is so vital, and this is probably the foundation of procrastination. And if you can conquer this, you may never procrastinate again. We have to get rid of the fear of failure. And I know for a lot of you, me included, that is a hard pill to swallow. The fear of failure. No one wants to fail. None of us want to fail. We don't want to go into something, give it a try, and then wind up on our ass. That's just how we're built. But that fear of failure is so prevalent and is so powerful that it will actually stop you from achieving your goals and cause you to procrastinate way longer than you ever did. You know, in my drinking career, which spanned many years, you know, there were a couple of times where I was successful in sobriety. And this time, it took a lot longer to get there because I was afraid. I was afraid that if I had failed again, if I would fail again, then once again, I would disappoint my friends and family and, you know, myself. I was afraid to even try because of that fear of failure. And when I was in LA and pursuing an acting career, you know, I went on auditions once in a while. I got a couple of roles here and there, but that fear of failure was so prevalent and so mindful and craftful that it stopped me from going full force into it and, you know, really putting my heart and soul into the passion that I wanted to pursue. If we can conquer that fear of failure, and I'll do another video specifically about that because it is so huge and it holds so many people back that, yeah, I'll do that video. But if we can conquer that fear, there is absolutely nothing we can't do. My last tip for you, my 8th tip for you, is have an accountability partner. You know, words have such power and such meaning that when you say, I'm going to live a healthier lifestyle, or I'm going to get my finances on track, or I'm going to start a business, or I'm ready to start dating, I'm ready to start new relationships. If you speak that out into the universe, you are putting energy behind that. And if you speak it to another person, then you feel accountable to that person to actually live up to the words that you put out there. I mean, how many of us want to, you know, talk to someone and actually not speak the truth? Actually, you know, well, look like a failure when we don't do it. You know, and I have found this to be so helpful in stopping procrastination. You know, when I started this weight loss journey, I told my sister, I'm like, I'm going on a 30-day carb challenge where I limit my carbs down to almost nothing. And, you know, I felt accountable to her because, you know, I would see her every single day. And I knew if I slipped up, she would never put me down for it, but I would feel that I let her down. And so that was a driving and powerful force in me accomplishing that goal. And I've used this technique on many other things, and it's always helpful. You know, if we keep it to ourselves, the only one we have to disappoint is ourselves. And, you know, for me, I can easily get past that. But if I feel like I've disappointed someone else, that's a whole different ballgame. That's something totally different. Anyway, my friends, get off the sofa, get those goals planned out, and stop procrastinating. You deserve a better life. You deserve a life of awesome, and I want to help you achieve that in any way I can. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to comment down below. What are your goals? What is one goal that you want to achieve and you are committed to achieving it, and you are going to push procrastination out of the way? Forget this quarantine, forget, you know, home isolation. Now is the time to do it. I hope you enjoyed this video again. Please make sure to like, again, comment down below, and subscribe. Hit that bell when you subscribe so you get notified each time I create a video. And I will see you soon. Cheers, my friends.